Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thanks for all the youth for coming, for all the ages, all the Sunday school kids, all the, the boys and the girls. Thank you all for coming. Inshallah, today's speaker is Dr. Imam Zafar Anjum. For those of you guys who don't know him, he comes here and he also gives a lot of talks as well. He's also an imam. So the topic for today will be cleaning and purification. So inshallah, he will go more in depth about that. We'll open up also the question and answer sessions. Kind of the format for today is we will go into this topic in discussion, question and answer sessions. Afterwards, by about 2 p.m. will be Zohar Jamaat. So we'll all pray together, and then we will go together to CC's Pizza. For those of you who wish to go, it's $5 to go over there. I'm sure you guys probably all know or are aware of taking care of it. For those of you guys who don't want to go, it's all on you. So that's kind of today's program. To start off, I'd just like to invite Brother Shayan to come up for a recitation of the Holy Quran.
My brother.
Yeah, your brother.
Assalamu alaikum. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وما أمرنا إلا واحدة كلمح بالبصر ولقد أهلكنا أشياعكم فهل من مدكر وكل شيء فعلوه في الزبر وكل صغير وكبير مستطر إن المتقين في جنات ونهر في مقعد صدق عند مليك مقتدر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والحب ذو العصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان والحب ذو العصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار. صدق الله العظيم.
Thank you, Brother Shayan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and put more barakah in your efforts, inshallah. So for those of you guys who just came, the topic for today will be cleaning and purification. And as you guys know, there's also PowerPoints open. So if you guys have any other questions in between while he starts his session, please feel free to raise your hand and ask him. He'll go over different principles and different things to discuss with us, inshallah. So now I'm just going to give over the mic to Dr. Imam Zafar Anjum.
Jazakallah.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wasallam wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in at-tayyibin at-tahirin. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن الكريم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها المدثر قم فأنذر وربك فكبر وثيابك فطهر. وقال سبحانه وتعالى أيضا في مقام آخر فيه رجال يحبون أن يتطهروا والله يحب المطهرين. صدق الله العظيم. اللهم صل على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد مبارك وسلم. Today's topic is very important. It is about the cleanliness, the tahara or the purification. It is so important as it is like the key for going to Jannah. We all, Alhamdulillah, we would like to go for Jannah, right? Yes? So there is a key for Jannah as you have the keys for your car. You have the keys for your home. When you enter your home, you open the door, you open the lock and you go inside. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also has already announced that what are the keys for the Jannah. So in very authentic narration and very famous narration, our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, the key to the Jannah is salah, is the prayer. It's to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the key for salah is wudu, is the tahara. Our prayer is not valid until we are pure and clean. So tahara, as you know, when you do the wudu, you make the wudu, this is tahara. And there is a need for taking the whole shower, Islamic shower, that is the tahara. And we need it in our daily lives. Every day when we go for the salah, we need to make wudu. And when there is a need to make the Islamic shower, so we purify ourselves, that is the part of the major tahara. So how many of you have the wudu, by the way? Okay. This is very important that when we are sitting in the masjid, when you come to your classes, so be in the state of wudu. This is extra reward for you. And as long as you all are in the state of wudu, you are also associating yourselves with angels of Allah, the malaika of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because we are the human beings, we are composed of two things. One is our physical body and one is our spiritual thing, that is called ruh. The angels, they are always clean and pure, and we want to associate ourselves with them, with the angels and the malaika, and that's why we need the tahara and the purification. Okay. So the first slide it talks about the same issue, that the main thing is the salah, the ibadat of Allah, but the hukum for salah is wudu and ghusl collectively. So these are the two parts of the purification. Here I also would like to tell you that purification is not just the bodily purification like washing our body. There is another kind of purification, that is inner purification. spiritually also we should be pure. It means that the types of thinking that we have in our mind, the thoughts that are coming, they also should be pure. We should not allow our mind to harbor bad things, bad thoughts and thinking that is not right. So that is also the part of the purification, that is spiritual purification. Now when we go for the salah and we need the wudu, so there are two types of the purification. First of all, let me ask you also that are you aware about any hadith of the Prophet ﷺ or ayat of the Quran that talks about the purification? Yes, please go ahead.
It's kind of related to cleanliness as half of our iman.
MashaAllah, very good. Beautifully, he translated one hadith that the purification is half of your iman, faith. What are the Arabic words for that? Can someone else say the same hadith in Arabic, in the words of the Prophet ﷺ? And this is very small, very short hadith, and if we memorize or we know, this is also another blessing that we know in the words of the Prophet ﷺ. So, at-taharatu shatrul iman. Only three words. At-taharatu shatrul iman. Tahara is the half of the faith or half of the iman. So this is beautiful hadith on this topic. And why the Prophet, peace be upon him, he said half of iman, this purification? Because half of iman is the tahara inside. The spiritual tahara is the half of iman. And the wudu is half of iman when you make yourself clean, bodily clean. So that is inner purity is half of iman, outer purity is half of iman, and both of them, they make the whole human person as pure and clean. So these are two types of the tahara. Now, in order to make ourselves clean, we need to remove all kinds of impurities. And there are two types of impurities that we need to take care of that. One is called purity that is in effect, and the other type of purity is called purity in fact. In, and you make it separate, in and then fact, F-A-C-T, fact, actual purity. And the second one is purity in effect, like state of impurity. For example, if someone does not have the wudu, so that person is pure because his dress, his garments are clean, his body is clean, but still that person cannot make the prayer. So this impurity is called impurity in effect. You cannot see any impurity, it is not visible, but that person will be considered as he is not pure spiritually, right? So in Arabic, these are two names. One is called haqiqiyya. Haqiqiyya, that means real. If you have the impurity and you can see it visible, like you go to the bathroom, you use the bathroom, and we know that the things that are coming out of our body as the call of nature, so this is the impurity that you can see it, that is called haqiqiyya, like visible. The second one is called hukmiyya, that you are not seeing any impurity, like you are not in wudu, so you do not see any impurity, but this is the situation, the state of impurity. And we are not allowed to make our prayer until we make the wudu, then that state of impurity is gone. So this is called hukmiyya. Okay. And in order to make the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or to get the keys for the Jannah, we have to have both of these type of cleanliness. So let's start with the haqiqiyya. And it is very important for Muslim people, for us, that we cannot imitate other people, Especially when you are outside of your home, you go to school, you go to public places, you go to mall, any public place. So especially this time I would like to focus on the boys, on the men, that nowadays in modern day there are facilities in your school also, in your public places, when you can relieve yourself while standing. But Islamically it is not allowed at all, because when we are doing it and while we standing, so there are splashes and there are drops of urine, and that is haqiqiyya, the impurity haqiqiyya. It is coming back to our body, it is coming back to our dress, so we are not clean. We have to wash ourselves, we have to wash the clothes, we have to wash our body, right? So make it very important point that whenever you are in the public place, even at home also, there are sometimes, in the masjid or at home, when we are going to the bathroom, and because we see in the school, so we apply the same habit over here in the masjid or our home also, that we are not caring about the purity, and what happens that the surrounding is not pure. So we need to understand that as a Muslim, and in order to get the purification, it is very important that three things always we must keep clean: our dress, our body, and the surrounding, all these three things. So what is the remedy? What should we do? That we should always sit down. We never use it as when we are standing. We should sit down and we relieve ourselves, and after that we should use the water. First we use the paper, and after using the paper we also should use the water. Now if you are in the school or in the public place, you cannot find water easily, or the facility is not there, so it is okay if you clean yourself with the paper. But whenever you go home, when you reach home and the water is available, then you clean yourself with the water also. I recited one ayat of the Quran, and it was about the people of Medina. What is the city of Medina? What is the city of Medina, if may I ask from those who are sitting in the first row? Have you heard the name of Medina? What is that? What is the speciality of that city?
It's where Prophet Muhammad lived.
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Yes, this is the city where our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam lived. Yes, you also raise your hand.
It's one of the holy cities.
Yes, this is one of the holy cities of Islam, and it is blessed because our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he stayed over there, and he is still resting over there, right? His Rawdah, or the resting place, is in Madinatul Munawwara. When people they go for Hajj or Umrah, they go and visit. So there is a town in the outskirts of Medina that is known as Quba. So when the Prophet ﷺ, he migrated to Medina, he found out that the people of Quba, they were very good Muslims. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala admired them in the Quran. And he said that in Quba there are people who love to purify themselves. يُحِبُّونَ أَن يَتَطَهَّرُوا. And Allah loves the people who purify themselves. So then the Prophet ﷺ asked them, what is the special thing that you do? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is admiring you? So then they said that whenever we clean ourselves, we try to use the dirt, as it was the substitute for the paper at that time, and also we use the water. So we use both things, and we make ourselves as much as we can clean. So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala admired them. So in this time, whenever you use the bathroom, so you use the paper and the water both to make yourself clean. That is very important. Yes. And then the hukmiya that when you need the wudu, so you need to remove that impurity, that is the situation of impurity, right? You cannot see that, but you make the wudu in order to make yourself pure. Now, what is the right procedure of wudu? How do you make your wudu? Who can tell me? What are the steps? You all know it, mashallah. You make always wudu. Okay, just don't be shy. We are all friends here. Yes.
You wash your hands. You gotta do it in your mouth. Nose, face, ears, head, arms, feet.
Okay, and wiping of the head, right? So, whenever you start your making wudu, so then you wash your hands up to the wrist, and then you clean your mouth, rinse your mouth 3 times, and then you rinse your nose, and then you wash your face 3 times. What is the area of face that you need to wash? Chin, yes, in the length, that is below. But where should it start, the starting point? Yes.
Forehead to chin.
Yes, from forehead to the chin. And forehead, the point where your hair, they start growing from here, right? So from this point all the way down below the chin, that is in the length. What about the width?
From ear to ear.
From ear, yes, ear lobe, from right side to the left side ear lobe, that is the width of your face. So this is the complete face that you need to wash, and do it 3 times. And making sure that the water is reaching in every part of your face. Then the second thing, that you wash your hands, your arms. So what is the length of your arms? How much?
Elbows.
Elbows. You wash it up to the elbows, from your fingers, from the tip of the fingers all the way to, and elbows are included. So make sure always that your elbows are completely wet and they are washed properly. It should not be remaining dry. Then third thing, you wipe off your head, right? So can someone show me how to make it? Yes. Very good. So make like that, 3 fingers. First wash them and throw all the water. You don't need to put the water on your head. Just use your wet fingers and take these 3 fingers from the top all the way to the back, and bring them back from the palms, from the back of your palms. And then use your index finger to clean your ears. And then use your thumbs, the back of your ears. And then use this part to wipe off your back of the neck. That is called masah, or wiping off your head. And then last thing, what is the last thing in the wudu? Okay. Washing your feet, right? Up to where? Ankles. So there is a bone that is called ankles that you need to wash, and those ankles are included in that. So this is the complete wudu, that is the essential in order to make our salah and our prayer. And then you can do the ibadat with either is the Quran or is the prayer. If the water is not available, so what should we do? Yes. Dirt. And what is that called? What is the Islamic name for that? Yes. Tahara is the general word. Yes, that is also the part of the tahara, that means purification. But what are the cleaning agent that you use it? dust, and that terminology is called tayammum. Tayammum, right? So know this word. One is called wudu, that you do it with the water, and when the water is not available or is harmful for use because of the health reason, someone is sick and the doctors say that if you use the water it will be harmful for you, then you use the dirt, and that is called tayammum. What is the right procedure of tayammum? How do you do that? Yes.
I remember, I think you rub some of the dust or dirt on your face.
Okay, so you will take the dirt and put it on your face. So what we do for that tayammum, that we strike like our hands on the dirt. For example, this is the wall. You can put on your hands on the wall, and if there's a dust, you need to dust off. You don't need to put the dust on your face. Just blow it and then rub your hands on your face. Same way as you do the wudu, you put the water. Just so it's a symbolic. You are not putting any water or anything on your face, just the empty hands without the dust. But before that you need to touch the dust with the hands, right? And then you will strike it second time, and then you will rub all the way on your right hand to the elbows and on the left hand including the elbows. So this is called tayammum. You don't need to do it for your feet, and there is no need to make the masa. So this is the difference between wudu and tayammum, that in tayammum we do only two things. First we rub our face, and second thing we rub our hands only. That is tayammum, right? Okay. So we going back to the visible impurity, and it is also very important to understand, you know, the things that are obvious when you use the bathroom, so all the impurity that you can see it. But there are some other types of impurities that sometimes some people, they do not realize it. For example, the blood. Blood, it comes, if there is a cut in our body, any wound, any injury, then the blood is coming, so blood is also impure. And if there is a blood on our body, on our garments, we need to wash it before we make any salah, we make any prayer. If there is a blood of the human being or blood of the animals, both of they are impure and we have to wash it. Similarly, any kind of liquor, okay, wine, liquor, even beer, this is also impure. Is not only forbidden to consume or to drink, but it is also impure. And if any drops of this liquor is in our body or in our dress, so we need to wash it properly, we need to clean it. That is also very important. Yes?
Do you have to do your wuzu over again if you bleed?
If you bleed, yes. If you bleed, so your wudu is also broken. But there are two situations. The condition for that blood is to be dropped also. Sometimes we have a very minor injury and we see that the blood is there, but it is not falling from the body. So we do not see any drop. So if the drops are not coming, it will not break the wudu. And it is okay, you just take some water and rub that area, clean it, and you are okay to go. You can make your prayer. But if the drops are the blood, they are falling down, then it breaks the wudu. You have to clean it, you have to wash yourself, and you need to repeat the wudu as well. Similarly, if someone is vomiting, and that vomiting is mouthful, like you say throw up, right? So if it is mouthful, that is also impure. So if it is on our clothes, on our body, we have to wash it, right? And it also breaks the wudu. We need to make a fresh wudu for our salah, for our prayer. Okay. So these are few things that I told you about that. It is also very important, mashallah, you are all now growing children, you will start someday working in different places. So any store, they sell the liquor, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may save all of us from that. But if someone is in a kind of job that person is serving alcohol or selling alcohol, that Muslim person must realize that is carrying something that is impure also, right? So it is very, very important. So from that perspective also, we Muslims try ourselves not to involve in that type of job, in that type of work where these types of things are being sold, or astaghfirullah, we need to serve that. Okay, so I wanted to highlight that fact. It's very important. And I think we need to unlock it. From here. Just keep moving up maybe few minutes. So that was the difference between haqiqiyya, the real impurity that is visible, and the other impurity that is not visible. I explained it to you earlier. In order to be in this state, it requires a person to perform wudu or ghusl or tayammum. While there are certain things that break one's wudu, there is one main problem, and that is if any type of najasa, that is filth, that falls on him or her. It means that if you need to make the wudu, of course you need to make wudu, ghusl or tayammum. But if it is some visible impurity also on your body or on your dress, you need to wash it and clean it. And what is the procedure of something is impure, like any cloth, and you want to pure it? So do you know how to clean it? What is the procedure of cleaning? Yes?
Washing it 3 times.
Washing it 3 times. You wash it first time and you rinse that thing completely, all the water is completely gone. Then you need to wash it again and do it again, and 3rd time you do it again. So these are 3 steps, 3 times that you need to wash it in order to make it clean. So what are the things that are visible? One is urine, one is feces, one is menses, and one is madi, one is nifas. So some of the things are related to adults only, but the other, first and number 1 and number 2, that we all have as a call of nature, and we know that this is not allowed in Islam, this is not pure in Islam, right? So that's why I emphasize on that. Whenever you use the bathroom, even in the school or public place, make sure that your body is not defiled, is not soiled with that thing. As a Muslim, we have to be very careful about that. And I also talked about flowing blood that is coming from the cut, or your nose is bleeding. So whether it's the blood of the man, woman, or animals. Okay. If we have the bugs, insects, like a fly or the mosquito, so that blood is tahir, it is not impure, right? So if we do not see the mosquito over here, but if you go to many other countries, there are so many mosquitoes. So if you just hit them and they are dying, so if some blood is coming on your body and you are still praying, it is okay, it is not impure. Animal droppings, birds that fly and that we can eat, the droppings are tahir. Like some birds like pigeon and those types of the birds. So if you see that dropping, sometimes you park your car and you see that the droppings of the birds are there. So if the droppings on your own body and you just remove it, clean it with the napkin, it's pure. You don't need to wash it. However, if the birds that don't fly like chickens, their droppings are not pure. If there is a dropping of the chicken, then you have to wash it properly and clean it properly. I just talked about the khamar. Khamar is a liquor or alcohol, and it includes beer. So it's a beer or wine. Yeah, this is also a big confusion among some Muslims. They somehow misled or misguided by people that beer is not as impure as wine because of the percentage. But make it very clear that any substance that makes intoxicant, like a person who is out of conscious, so whether it is a small percentage or big percentage, everything is forbidden to consume, to drink, and also it's haram to touch it. When we touch it, so if someone is carrying the can of the beer, so that person is holding something impure. And if a Muslim did it, that person has to clean himself properly and completely, like someone is having the urine on the body. So it is just like that. Yes. Someone raised the hand. So najis to drink or consume. However, if the amount of alcohol was used in like rubbing alcohol for medicine purpose, or if in some kind of cologne, fragrance, that does not fall under that hukum. All the dead animals, so everything becomes impure. Okay, swine and dogs. This is another problem, especially in the Western countries when there are so many products of the pork, right? So we know that the pork is not allowed at all, and any kind of product that is made of the pork, whether from the hair of the pork or the skin of the pork or the teeth of the pork or the bones of the pork or gelatin, you know all of that. So this is not allowed at all when it comes to the swine. Swine is another name of the pork. However, yes.
I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of modern day football is made out of their skin. So would that come into effect?
Okay. Since we are not using it to, consuming, like it's not, anything is not going inside our body, so it should not be the problem like we are using as compared to using something. But still, if there is another substitute available for that, some other kinds of the product where the skin of other animals have been used, so it is better. However, what happens with the skin when it goes through a chemical process and it is tanning, it's called tanning process of the skin, so it is going through, then the hukum completely changes to that. Okay, when it comes to the dogs, now dogs are also everywhere, right? Whenever you go in your neighborhood, you see that the dogs are on the street. Sometimes you are petting them also. So we need to make it very clear about the dogs. If the body and the hair of the dogs are dry, you can pet the dog. There is no problem. And it is not impure. Okay? But if the saliva of the dog, like the dog is coming to you and licking of your, clothes or licking at your body, and the saliva is coming in touch of your body, so that saliva is not pure. Then we have to wash it properly. And we cannot make our prayer with the same clothes. We have to change it, we have to clean it. And this is also a good reason to explain the many other people, they think that Muslims, they hate animals, or Muslims, they hate the dog. So you need to clarify, no, we do not hate the animals. Okay? We do not hate the dogs. Dogs are also a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But why we keep ourselves away from the dogs and we are not in very close attachment with the dog? Because they are the reason for impurity. Their saliva is impure, their sweat is also impure. So if it is touching to our body or our clothes, we cannot perform our prayers. So if you explain this way from the religious point of view and from the purification point of view, they will also understand and they will appreciate. Yes.
Let's say if you're outside, right, and a dog comes up to you, you don't have any extra clothes, do you just not read namaz then? The dog touches you after, or can you still pray if you don't have any extra clothes?
Right. So if the dog is touching your body or your clothes, there are two situations. If the dog was dried, no saliva, no sweat, then it is no problem at all. You can perform your prayer with the same clothes. However, the second situation, if something is coming from the body of the dog and it is on your clothes now, then when you come to the masjid, so just wash that area. Just wash that area, clean it and make your prayers. But in any case, when you are close to the dog, be careful that if you want to pet, you can do it as long as the body of the dog is dry and the hairs, they do not have any kind of wetness, and the saliva is also not coming to your body or your cloth. Be very careful about that. Right? Some people, they go, I'm sure that not our Muslim people, but those who have lot of found for the dog, so what they are eating something like a cookie, so they bite and then they give it to the dog, is eating, and then they are eating. So we cannot do at all. So be very careful. And what is the reason? Because of the saliva of the dogs is not pure. Okay. So water is the best cleaning agent. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has provided us the water, and water is the solution of many impurities. Any kind of impurity, you want to wash it, clean it, so the water is the best. Okay. What is the definition of the water? As we know that how to define the water. So a tea or a juice or milk, it cannot be defined with the water. Anything that has the smell and the taste or the color, that is not water. Right? So we have to be very careful about that. It must be known as the water, so tea would not work. It has not changed in color, taste or smell. It can be moving or stagnant, like the rivers or the canals of the water. You see that water is always running or flowing. Sometimes we have the pond, like swimming pool, where the water is stagnant. It is not flowing, but as long as your swimming pool is big enough, and what is the measurement to be big enough for a swimming pool or for the pond, that it should be 10 yards in the length, 10 yards in the width. So 40 square yards. If this is the measurement of your swimming pool, then the water is clean. And how do you make sure that if there was an impurity and you clean it 3 times, so this impurity is gone? How do you recognize it? So the color is gone after washing this 3 times, and the smell and taste, all 3 things have gone. It means now this piece or that item is clean. The other type of impurity, we are as a Muslims have been commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we do our personal grooming, and there are requirements, certain requirements for that. So men and women, when mashallah you will be growing up, you become Islamically adult, so you need to take care of your personal grooming. And there are armpit hair that you need to remove. Your nails are also not recommended in Islam. We should not unnecessarily grow the nails. Periodically we need to cut our cleans. Cut our nails, clipping the nails. That is also very important. And here I also would like to tell you that especially our sisters, our girls, they use the nail polish and also henna, like mehendi, that's called mehendi or henna. So if you are using the henna and you are making wudu and ghusl, it is okay, there is no problem. Because henna does not have any kind of layer that is stopping water to reach to the skin of the body. But the nail polish, it has a thicker layer, and if it is on the nail, so it is stopping the water to reach inside. So it is just like if you have the wax, any kind of wax in your hands, and that wax is stopping the water to reach the skin. So we have to be very careful. You can use the nail polish, but just for the time when like you are making wudu, before you make the wudu, first you use the nail polish, then you make the wudu, and then you will be in the state of the wudu. You can make your prayers. If you are going to the party, because of that you are using the nail polish, you can go enjoy your party. When you come back, then you need to remove the nail polish before a fresh wudu, because it is very important that when we are making wudu, the water is reaching properly to the nails. Any question on that? Any question on that? Because it is something very important, then we need to be careful. If you use the miswak, yes.
They have these things called halal nail polish now, where they claim that it's breathable. Is that allowed first?
Yes. If it is breathable and you are using the type of material that is not stopping the water to reach inside, then it is allowed. Then it will be considered as the henna, like mehendi. Yes. Okay. What things are there who can break the wudu? Right? So can I ask, without looking at the slide? Yes.
Using the bathroom.
Yes, using the bathroom, so it breaks the wudu. Yes. Please say louder.
Flow of blood.
Oh yeah, flow of blood. Very good, very good. Yes, we talked earlier about that. Yes.
I had a question. What if you sleep for like 5 minutes on the airplane, or like car, or like on your bed or on the floor?
Right. It's a very good question. Our sleep is also a breaker of the wudu. The wudu breaks while we are sleeping. Now, what is the definition of the sleep? How long, and what is the gesture of our body? So, if we are sleeping in a way that our back is reclining with some support, like if you are sitting on the floor and your back is supporting against the wall, or you are sitting on the chair and you are sitting like aeroplane, you are sitting on your seat, and for all 5 minutes completely you are gone, right? You are unconscious completely. So then this is the breaker of the wudu, your wudu is gone. One thing is called dozing off. Dozing off, just you are sitting like that. So this will not break the wudu. So the gesture of the body that you are sitting and you are reclining against any support of the chair, of the wall, so it is the sign that your wudu is gone. And for few minutes, whether it's 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, sometimes it is very dangerous situation. Even during the Jummah khutbah, some people they started even you can see that they are making those noises during the sleep, right? Snoring. So of course snoring is a sign that this person is completely out of his consciousness. So this is very dangerous and it breaks the wudu. So we have to be very careful. If we are taking a nap for few minutes or sleeping and our body is complete at rest. Another sign, if the chin of the body is touching to the chest. So this is also the sign of sleeping, that the chin is touching to the chest. So at that time also, this is in the definition of the sleeping, and the wudu is gone. Yes, someone else raised the hand from there. What other things that can break the wudu? Yes.
Vomiting.
Vomiting, yes. If it is a mouthful vomiting, complete mouth, then it breaks the wudu. If it is very little, then it does not break the wudu. Yes.
What if you fart?
Yes. Yes. So passing the gas, that is also breaks the wudu. And again we have to be very careful, and I appreciate that he said it, because sometimes people, while they are performing the prayer, during the prayer this happens and they continue to perform the prayer, it is not allowed. Okay, what is the situation? What should be the remedy? That the person, and this situation happens during the prayer, then the prayer is that person is out of the prayer, and that person should make his or her way to go and make the fresh wudu. But during his walking, that person should not talk to anybody. Still that person should consider that I am in the prayer. Should go make fresh wudu, come back, and if it's a jamaat, so that person can again join the jamaat. And whatever is missed from the part of the jamaat, like 1 rakat, 2 rakat, so that person should make up that remaining prayer. So this is the hukum or the ruling about that. If you are making individual prayer and this situation happens, so your wudu is broken, your prayer is broken, you need to go make the fresh wudu and restart the prayer. Yes.
Also, if you listen to music, does that affect your wudu?
No. Listening the music is not the reason of breaking the wudu, but it depends that what type of music you are listening. So any kind of music that is not allowed in Islam, so whether you are in wudu or not in the wudu, it is not allowed, right? Yes. Any other question on that? Yes. Yes.
Why did it say eating camel meat?
Oh, yes, it is the fiqh of Imam Malik. Actually, these slides are based on the fiqh of Imam Malik. So few things you will see that is not the opinion of all the scholars, but according to some scholars, when you eat the meat of the camel, so there are some ahadith actually about eating the meat of the camel, where the Prophet ﷺ, he said it that after eating that meat you need to make the wudu, and the reason is that the meat of camel, it has a lot of fat. Okay, so it was advised, but the majority opinion that says no, you don't need to make wudu, they say that what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam meant from the wudu over there in the literal meaning of the wudu, and the literal meaning of wudu is the washing. So he is saying that after eating the meat, go and wash your mouths properly. So it does not mean that you have to repeat the wudu, but just wash your mouth properly. So that was about that. Can you please, it is again unlocked. I think after some time.
Just stay 10 minutes. You know?
Yes, inshallah. Okay.
Just do it. If this appears, just look at this. It's gonna disappear.
Yes. Okay.
After a few minutes, just keep touching it.
Okay. Okay. So that is also some issue related to the adults only, and maybe sometimes if we can make a presentation only for the adults, that will be that was about how to perform the wudu, and we talked about earlier. This is all about washing the arms and the feet. This is one more thing when you are washing, that you also clean inside your fingers of your hands and also inside the toes of the feet. It is very important. And our sisters who are wearing the ring, so it is very important that you need to lose it and make sure that the water is reaching inside, whether you are doing wudu or you are doing ghusl. Those men who have the beard, so then they need to also insert their fingers, wet fingers, inside the beard and make sure that the water is reaching. And this about the ring, or someone is wearing the watch, so they make sure that the water is reaching over there. Yeah, it is also important that when you are making wudu, all the actions should be completed at the same time. It has a very good example. It is not a good idea that you wash your feet and after that you go and eat the dinner. And after dinner you come back and now you continue the wudu. And now you are washing your hands and you are washing your feet. So you should not do it. And also keep the order. Like first we wash our hands and rinse the mouth and nose and wash the feet. And the last thing is washing the feet. But someone started opposite. He is washing the feet first and then washing the hand and washing the face. This is not the right order. Do not do that. Okay. 3 times you should wash. That is a sunnah. But if it is sometimes emergency situation, that time is very short, or you are in a journey and you need to finish it quickly, then if you did less than 3 times, it is okay. Some women, they have the braids in their head, in the hair, so they need to undo, they need to open in order to make especially ghusl. that talks about the tayammum. So most of the things, alhamdulillah, we have covered or completed. Remaining slides, they talk about the same thing that we have discussed earlier. So with that, inshallah, we are concluding over here. And if you have any person, he has a question on anything, inshallah, you are allowed to ask any question. So after that, we can conclude it, inshallah.
Anybody has any questions?
Okay.
We're taking questions. Anybody got questions?
Make it.
दुआ कर दें। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन वस्सलातु वस्सलामु अला रसूलिहिल अमीन व खैर खल्क़िही सय्यिदिना व नबीना मुहम्मदिन व अला आलिहि व अस्हाबिहि अजमईन। अल्लाहुम्मा रब्बना तक़ब्बल मिन्ना इन्नका अंतस समीउल अलीम व तुब अलैना इन्नका अंतत तव्वाबुर रहीम। रब्बना फ़ग़फ़िर लना ज़ुनूबना व कफ़िर अन्ना सय्यातिना व तवफ़्फ़ना मअल अबरार। O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, please accept our gathering. O Allah, increase us all in the iman, also increase us all in the understanding of our Islam, the issues, the rulings about the purification of the tahara. And O Allah, give us the tawfiq to always keep our body, our dresses, our surroundings clean. O Allah, make our worship and our prayers always accepted with the pure intention and with the tahara and with purification. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen wa sallallahu ta'ala ala khair khalqihi Sayyidina wa Nabina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in birahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Allahumma ameen.
Stay where you at. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thanks for everybody for coming, and I'd also like to thank our guest, Dr. Imam Zafranjum, for giving us that talk. So inshallah, we're going to have a couple more youth programs we're planning on having the next couple months, so just stay tuned and just bring more people, inshallah. So now the plan is we're still going to CC's Pizza. So for those of you guys who want to go to CC's Pizza, just stay around and just stay around for ride arrangements. So that means like at 2 o'clock we're going to read namaz. So after 2 o'clock, whoever has a ride, just hop in with them, and then if they're going, then cool, inshallah then. So if anybody has any other questions, otherwise if you don't have wudu, go make that. As you just listened to his talk, wudu is the most important thing we should try to keep in mind, no matter if we're in the masjid, praying namaz or not. We're in the masjid, so we should have wudu. So inshallah, everybody right now, just take this time out, go get some water, go do wudu now. And kids, don't be crazy now, okay? Stay here, and inshallah, we're gonna pray together, then we're gonna go eat, all right? So inshallah, so take care of that. But before we go, Mamoon, he's gonna come up, we're gonna do salam together, okay? So inshallah. And all the girls go on the other side. Yeah. So Mamoon.
You have a question? Yes. What are you saying? Just say it. You are going to
Burger
King. Stand up for the salam.
मुस्तफ़ा जाने रहमत पे लाखों सलाम शमए बज़ में हिदायत पे लाखों सलाम सलाम अलैका या रसूल सलाम अलैका या हबीबी सलाम अलैका मेरे आका सलाम अलैका जे सोहानी घड़ी चमका तैबा का चाँद जे सोहानी घड़ी चमका तैबा का चांद उस दिल अफरोज साथ पे लाखों सलाम। पतली पतली गूले कुद्स की पत्तियां, पतली पतली गूले कुद्स की पत्तियां, उन लबों की नज़ाकत पे लाखों सलाम। सलाम अलैका या रसूल, सलाम अलैका या हबीबी, सलाम अलैका मेरे आका, सलाम अलैका।
محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم تقبل منا هذا السلام. اللهم تقبل منا جميع صالح أعمالنا. اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وبارك وسلم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين.